Scooby-Doo and Shaggy take a wrong turn and end up opening a magic chest that holds the 13 meanest ghosts on Earth. Now every one of them is loose in the world, and the only people who can put them back are the two who let them out. It begins on a dark midnight with an old warlock woken by a ghostly screaming. He gazes into his crystal ball to see what is wrong. What he watches truly shocks him. The demon chest is unlocking on its own, and the 13 ghosts of Scooby-Doo are stirring inside. Two bumbling demons named Weird and Bojel hear the angry howls coming from that chest and jump in fright. The ghosts inside want out, and these two silly clowns plan to help them escape. Why? Because these are the meanest ghosts alive, and they hate every single living thing on Earth. The signal tells Weird that living people are heading toward the chest. Only the living can open it. So the demons wait and scheme, sure that some foolish human will wander close enough to break the seal and set their terrible friends free. Far away, Shaggy and Scooby believe they are flying off to Honolulu, Hawaii for a sunny, carefree vacation. Shaggy proudly asks Scooby, the navigator, to hand over the map. But Scooby has mixed things up in the worst way, and this happy little trip is about to go very, very wrong. The map is not for Honolulu at all. It is a map to the Himalayas, 7,000 miles off course. Scooby shrugs, but the plane is already in trouble. One engine dies, then things get worse, and Shaggy tries not to panic. First one engine coughs and dies, then another. Shaggy tells Scooby that this is really not the time to panic, though his shaking voice says otherwise. The plane pitches and drops, and the dream of a warm island holiday slips further away with every second. Soon the little plane is falling apart in the air. Shaggy shouts to abandon ship, cowards and canines first, and he and Scooby leap out. They tumble down toward a strange, snowy land, far from any warm beach, with no idea where they will land. On the ground below, we meet a young con artist named Flimflam. In a snowy town called Uasavania, the mayor is red with anger and orders the clever boy to leave at once. Flimflam has been selling tricks and stirring up trouble, and the whole town now blames him for their long run of bad luck. Flimflam is not worried at all. He grins and pitches his amazing new product, a bottle he calls Lots of Luck Joy Juice. He swears it changes bad luck into good, and adds that it also works as rocket fuel and a fine dandruff remover.
Flimflam's the name, and I'm Scovery. Lots of luck, joy, moves all unwanted curses, jinxes, and...
Then things slide out of control on the ice. Brakes fail, an ox cart nearly flattens everyone, and Flimflam cheerfully points out that this town really does have bad luck. He waves goodbye to the crowd and slips away before the mayor can catch him. Shaggy and Scooby crash land right into all this chaos, shaken but somehow still in one piece. They still dream of reaching Hawaii, yet now they have no plane and no plan at all. Slowly the gang begins to come together, pulled along by trouble they cannot seem to escape. Daphne is here too, caught up in the mess, and a stern officer wants to know the charge against them. The court is called to order before a grumpy judge titled the Burgomaster. The whole town suddenly wants these strangers gone by sundown, and nobody will explain the real reason why. The gang promises to leave the moment they gas up their plane. But the judge does not care about planes. He simply wants them out. Something about this town is deeply wrong, and the frightened people are trying hard to hide it from these outsiders. Searching for their missing plane, the group finds a clue. It looks like the aircraft was dragged straight inside an old temple. That makes no sense, yet the tracks lead right there, and the mystery pulls them toward a place they should probably avoid. The two demons plot nearby, planning to disguise themselves as friendly locals. They want to lure the humans into a trap so the chest gets opened. If they succeed, 13 full-fledged ghosts go free, and Weird and Bojel become heroes to the underworld. The gang finally comes face to face with the warlock himself, Vincent Van Ghoul, a tall and solemn figure. They explain that they are only trying to find their missing airplane. He gazes deep into his magic and confirms it. Their plane is inside the temple, tangled up in something far darker than they could guess.
One's here.
Well, why didn't you say so? The great Vincent knows all.
Then the town's terrible secret finally spills out. Each night when the moon rises, all the townsfolk turn into werewolves. That is the real reason everyone wanted the strangers gone. They were never being cruel at all. They were quietly trying to protect these kind visitors from a frightening curse. Thanking Vincent, the gang follows a smooth stranger who promises to take them to a stage show. They do not realize they are being herded, step by step, deeper into the very trap the demons have been building for them since the moment they arrived. Before the truth fully lands, the demons in disguise offer the gang refreshments and a show. A singing ghost called Gulio takes the stage and croons a spooky love song. It is a trick, a soft distraction meant to keep the humans calm and off guard. The gang settles in with their drinks, charmed by the silly crooning ghost. But the whole cozy scene is a lie. Behind the music and the free refreshments, the demons are quietly closing every exit and setting the final pieces of their plan in place. The trap springs shut and everyone shouts in fright as the friendly show turns fearsome. The gang scrambles to get out and find help fast. Daphne calls for a driver straight to Honolulu, then thinks better of it and decides a plain, slow, safe bus sounds far wiser right now. In the middle of the panic, Flim Flam splashes his lots of luck joy juice on Daphne, and to everyone's shock the stuff seems to actually work. The lucky charm in a bottle really does help. For once, the young con artist's silly homemade potion is exactly what the frightened gang needs.
You're sure in a lousy mood.
Then
What works, Flim Flam?
you heard it,
The demons are pleased because now the humans can get inside easily and the trap is fully set. They spot a hole in the temple wall leading deeper in. Shaggy jokes that there is a hole in Daphne's head if she thinks he is going in there. Shaggy and Scooby dig in their heels, wanting no part of that dark hole. But the others coax them forward and there is really no choice. Everyone knows the ghosts are close and someone has to step into the shadows to find out the truth. But in they go because someone must. Quoting the Great Confused One, Shaggy yells for everyone to run for their lives. Inside the temple, the danger grows and the whole group edges closer to the chest that must never be opened by living hands. Suddenly, the werewolf townsfolk turn human again right before their eyes. The curse lifts. It was Flim Flam's lucky juice all along, a charm in a bottle that finally broke the spell that had haunted these poor people for many long years. The grateful mayor warmly thanks the gang for saving the town from its monstrous curse. Then he explains the sad old history. Long ago, the townsfolk bravely captured the 13 most hideous ghosts in the whole world, and in revenge, those angry spirits cursed everyone in the town into werewolves. So where's the plane? Mayor honestly has no idea. That mystery still hangs open. And worse, the 13 ghosts the town once caught are the same ones now threatening to escape, tying every thread of this adventure into one dark knot.
where's our plane?
The plane?
The exit door's gotta be around here someplace, Scoop. But what is it?
While relaxing in front of their favorite show, the gang suddenly spots their own plane, the mystery flying machine, right there on the screen. It is turned up in a very strange place. That surprising clue sends them chasing after it, drawing them closer and closer to the crypt where the chest of demons quietly waits. The gang faces a big decision: chase the plane down into that dark place or walk away and stay safe. Curiosity and a good heart win out. They cannot leave a mystery alone, even one that clearly smells of danger from top to bottom. Vincent Van Ghoul reveals the plane is hidden downstairs in the Crypt of Darkness. Two spirits dragged it there on purpose, using it as bait to lure people like them below. The whole thing is a trap built to get the chest opened. The reason behind it all chills them to the bone. The chest of demons can only be opened by the living. So the crafty spirits needed some foolish, kind-hearted humans to wander down and lift the heavy lid for them. Vincent warns the gang plainly, but the pull toward that dark crypt is already far too strong. Curiosity wins. Someone takes the box, admitting it was just a dumb hunch. Then comes the worst moment. Scrappy races in shouting for Uncle Scooby not to open it, but the warning arrives one heartbeat too late to stop the disaster. The lid flies open. The demons cheer wildly, thanking the gang for the favor. And out they stream, the 13 foulest specters and ghouls on Earth, pouring free into the world at last. The gang has done the exact thing they were warned against. When it dawns on them that they must chase every last ghost, the gang laughs nervously, sure the warlock must be joking. He is not. This is no joke at all, and a long, strange, spooky mission has just landed on their shoulders. Vincent tells the stunned gang they will need his help now. To reach him, they only have to use his special crystal, since even a great warlock keeps a listing in the yellow pages. It is the one lifeline they have going forward. Shaggy pulls everyone together and rallies the group. They have some spooks to capture now, so it is time to get rolling and stop feeling sorry for themselves. Flim Flam, of course, has filled their tank not with gas, but with cases of his own lots of luck joy juice.
Spooks to capture.
And guess what?
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful... Plane has no gas, remember?
With a cheerful aloha, the mismatched team sets off on the strangest road trip of their lives. A cowardly dog, a hungry beatnik, a brave girl, a plucky little pup, and a fast-talking convoy, all bound together by one impossible job: catch 13 ghosts. Back in his tower, Vincent chants a spell to seek out the restless spirits, the 13 ghosts loosed from the demon chest. He finds one almost at once, and its dark power is beyond anything he expected. Alarmed, he hurries to warn the gang that a mighty enemy is already dangerously close. Through the glowing crystal, Vincent tells the gang they are already closing in on the very first spirit. It is Maldor the Malevolent, a fearsome master of black magic from the Dark Ages. And this Maldor is hunting something terribly dangerous, a powerful object called the Wonder Wand of Zagraz. With that wand's mystic energy, Vincent warns, Maldor's black magic would become all-powerful, enough to rule the world. To stop him, the gang must travel to the castle of Princess Esmeralda, where the Wonder Wand lies hidden away. The gang points their vehicle toward Esmeralda's castle, the one place the Wonder Wand is hidden. It is a race now. Whoever reaches the wand first decides the fate of the world, and a Dark Ages sorcerer has a head start on them. An eerie fog swallows the road as they near the castle. Then Maldor himself appears, daring the mortals to come and get him. Vincent's grim warning echoes again: whoever opened the chest must be the ones to put every ghost back inside. Shaggy and Scooby wail together, asking again and again why it has to be them of all people. The answer never changes: because you let them out. The two of them open the chest, so the enormous job of catching every one of the 13 ghosts now rests squarely on their trembling shoulders. Scrappy insists Maldor is nothing but a flash in the pan and cannot scare them off the trail. But Maldor strikes back, and the van is flung into the wrong forest entirely. The gang is suddenly lost in woods that feel deeply, dangerously wrong.
Bye-bye! We in the wrong forest!
Maldor has cast a heavy spell that turns the whole once beautiful forest as evil as himself. He has also cursed Princess Esmeralda to sleep until the end of time, punishing her for refusing to hand over the Wonder Wand of Zagraz. Only that hidden wand now stands between the sorcerer and total power over the world. The gang's compass fails and they are completely lost. They call Vincent for directions, but the warlock is out to lunch. Shaggy and Scooby, hearing the word lunch, decide there is no point being lost on an empty stomach and settle in to eat. Maldor senses mortals nearby and realizes his spell missed one small spot in the forest. As Shaggy and Scooby enjoy their picnic, the sorcerer decides to show them that life is no picnic at all, and the peaceful clearing turns against them. Trees come alive and threaten to snap the pair like twigs. Shaggy and Scooby flee for their lives while the walking trees crash after them. What looked like a calm little meal has become a chase through a forest that wants them gone for good. The rest of the gang keeps driving and driving, only to end up right back at their own van, exactly where they started. They are as lost as ever in Maldor's twisted woods. Then Shaggy and Scooby burst in, breathless and wide-eyed, gasping that a couple of monster trees are hot on their heels. The evil trees hunt the missing pair, asking the bushes if a human and a dog ran by. Cleverly, the whole gang plays along and points the trees the wrong way. The monsters thank them and thunder off, giving everyone a brief, lucky escape. Daphne warns that this whole evil forest is Maldor's work, and if they cannot catch him before he seizes the Wonder Wand of Zagraz, there is no telling what he will do. The sorcerer, meanwhile, decides to handle these stubborn mortals personally.
Looks like we're really branching out, Scoob!
This evil boy gets the Wonder Wand of Zagraz. There's no
Disaster strikes when the crystal ball tumbles into the water. That crystal is their only link to Vincent Van Ghoul, and wet, it might short out completely. Losing it would leave them alone against Maldor, so they must chase it downstream at once. Flimflam has a bright idea, and the gang quickly builds a raft. Paddling after the bouncing crystal, they sing a cheerful rowing song to keep their spirits up. It is a small, funny, bright spot in a forest that keeps trying to swallow them. The raft ride turns into a full sing-along, with everyone rowing and cheering as the crystal bobs ahead. For a moment, the evil forest cannot touch them. But the crystal still needs saving, and the castle with the wand still waits somewhere in the fog. Vincent, annoyed by the singing, finally answers and points them toward the castle. Daphne reminds the boys to be careful, since Maldor has made everything in this forest evil. Even the path ahead cannot be trusted as they close in on the wand. The boys promise they will be at the castle in a snap, brushing off Daphne's careful warnings. She keeps reminding them that nothing in this forest can be trusted, since Maldor has twisted every tree and stone. Still, the two head off in high spirits. Maldor vows the gang shall not be spared and hurls his fury at them. They race for the castle as danger closes from every side. A fire-breathing dragon, one of the sorcerer's evil creations, blocks the way and turns the chase red-hot. Instead of fighting the dragon head-on, Flim-Flam does the one thing he does best of all. He sweet-talks the beast, loudly praising its fiery talent and pitching a whole chain of dragon barbecue restaurants. He even makes up a catchy jingle on the spot, spinning the raging monster's fury into a friendly business deal. Then Flim-Flam smoothly offers the dragon a used car, rattling off ridiculous wrecks with sky-high prices. He finally lands on a tiny Spitfire made for dragons on the go and tells the beast to climb in and see how it fits like a glove. Flim-Flam rattles off wreck after ridiculous wreck at sky-high prices until the dragon is thoroughly dazed by the sales pitch. It is a wonderful little moment, the scariest thing in the forest, completely tangled up by a boy who could sell sand in a desert. The con works like a charm and the fearsome dragon is tamed by pure salesmanship, climbing into a car that fits like a glove. With that fiery guardian handled, the gang pushes on toward Esmeralda's castle and the hidden Wonder Wand, still racing to beat Maldor there. Cornered by the castle guards, Flim-Flam does the one thing he is truly good at. He talks fast. He begs them not to hurt him, promises he will do absolutely anything they ask, and then, in the same breath, tells them to try running while he bolts. The trick buys the friends a precious second, and the flustered guard actually backs off for a moment. Shaggy sighs that the whole thing was awful, but at least nothing can keep them out of the castle now. Scooby is far less sure because the guards still stand thick around the private gate just ahead of them. Though Flim-Flam simply invents a tour on the spot. He waves his arms grandly and calls it the Super Deluxe Package for Princess Esmeralda's castle, pointing out the snake-filled moat and the main drawbridge as if the friends were paying guests instead of trespassers. He even promises a visit to the plush torture chambers, and the bluff carries them right inside. But this castle belongs to Maldor, a horned demon who rules like a cruel judge. He catches the whole team at once and drags them before his own twisted court. Maldor asks whether the trespassers have anything to say before he passes sentence. Flim-Flam has plenty. He appoints himself the defense attorney and dramatically calls his first witness, Uncle Scooby, to take the stand in the demon's strange, made-up courtroom.
At the main drawbridge.
Oh!
And once inside.
Maldor plays the prosecutor, badgering poor Scooby about crimes on impossible dates like December 3rd and April 4th, twisting every nervous answer into a confession. Flim-Flam leaps up, objecting loudly that the demon is putting words straight into his client's mouth. The mock trial spirals into pure comedy. Maldor declares Scooby guilty ipso facto and changeo and advises him to throw himself on the mercy of the court. Flim-Flam counters by pleading temporary insanity for his terrified client and demanding all charges be dropped. Maldor is done playing along. He simply barks at his guards to seize them, and in a blink the whole team is chained deep in a dungeon. It is exactly the trap they had crept into the castle, hoping to spring on him first. Maldor gloats that they had planned to capture him, and he could never allow such a thing. When the friends demand to be let out, he tells them coldly that they will stay locked away until his great work is finally complete. Shaggy nervously asks how long that might be. The demon smiles and says only until he finds the Wonder Wand, and then he will destroy the whole world, starting with them. From the shadows of the cell, a gentle old prisoner suddenly speaks up. The prisoner calls himself Zagraz the Wizard, and the name lands hard. It is his Wonder Wand that Maldor is hunting. Zagraz admits with real sorrow that he lost the wand long ago, and that loss is the reason he now rots in this cell. He explains the terrible balance of the wand. In the right hands it fills the whole world with beauty, but in evil hands it could destroy the entire planet in an instant. Zagraz refused to reveal its hiding place, so Maldor locked him away in the dark. Shaggy promises the wizard they will all find a way out together, but Zagraz insists sadly that no escape exists. Then someone points to a plain door nobody had thought to try. The wizard admits he never once noticed it in all his time there. They throw their weight against the stuck door together, Shaggy grunting that it only needs a little push. It bursts open, the whole group tumbles through with a yell, and Shaggy and Scooby are suddenly separated from the others in the confusion.
Hey, what can I do you for, guys?
The two land somewhere new, and Shaggy grins the moment he sees it is the castle kitchen. Hunger takes over instantly, and he wants to eat. But Maldor is waiting for them, welcoming the pair with false cheer to what he calls his slumber party. There sits the sleeping hostess, Princess Esmeralda. She too refused Maldor the Wonder Wand, so he cursed her with the sleep of the centuries, and now he invites the friends to join her in that endless rest. Shaggy stalls by suggesting a pot of Scooby-Doo stew. Scooby stirs the bubbling pot while Shaggy hums the familiar old Scooby-Dooby-Doo tune, reminding his pal again and again to keep the soup moving. The whole scene is a desperate delay, a way to keep busy hands and buy a few more moments before the demon closes in. Shaggy takes a taste to check the flavor, and one mouthful sends him reeling. On second thought, he laughs weakly, maybe they should just eat out. The kitchen erupts into a chaotic chase, Maldor lunging while the friends scramble around the counters. The chase morphs into a carnival shell game, Maldor daring them to guess which cup hides the prize, chanting around and around she goes. Flim Flam plays right along, teasing the demon, popping up with a cheerful goodbye before the whole trick collapses again. The reunion is brief. Flim Flam waves so long to the Ratfinks, then yelps as the game falls apart around them. At least Shaggy sighs they are all still in one piece. But a fresh cry cuts through the halls, and Daphne is nowhere to be seen. Her voice echoes for help as Maldor chants a spell of darkness, a trance so deep it will hold her now and forever in sleep. Scrappy charges in, furious, demanding to know what the horned demon thinks he is doing to their gentle friend.
At least we're all still in one piece.
But where's Meanest?
Now and forever.
Maldor sneers that it is nothing next to what he plans for Scrappy, then reveals a stunning twist. The Wonder Wand of Zagraz has somehow ended up in Scooby's own paws. The demon coos like he is calling a good dog, wheedling softly for the prize. He calls Scooby a good doggy and orders him to drop the wand. Terrified, Scooby clutches it tight and runs for his life while the others shout for him to keep going. Maldor warns, calm and cruel, that the frightened dog will not get far. They gather around sleeping Daphne, shaking her and begging her to wake, but the spell holds fast and she does not stir. Maldor corners them and insists they have no choice left but to hand over the Wonder Wand if they ever want to save her. Then Scooby, almost by pure accident, points the wand the right way. Its true power pours out, the kind that fills the world with beauty, and the beautiful magic turns hard against its would-be master. Maldor howls, refusing to believe what is happening to him. The wand begins reshaping the furious demon whether he likes it or not. He snarls that he still wants that wand, clawing for it, while the friends keep working over Daphne, telling her softly they are doing all of this for her own good. Maldor roars in order to roast them, and hurls his full fury forward. The fight collapses into pure cartoon mayhem, and little Scooby drives the mighty demon half mad, slipping under every swing while Maldor vows to squash him flat like a common fly. Scooby leans straight into the joke, buzzing about the room as if he really were an insect. Maldor takes the bait and twists himself into a snapping flycatcher, chasing the dog in circles while the wand's magic keeps quietly eating away at his power. Through all the chaos, Scrappy never stops working on Daphne, tickling her and pleading with her to wake up because he knows she is ticklish. Then the wand's magic finally lands where it counts, and mighty Maldor is shrunk into a small, hopping, helpless frog. This is the chance they have waited for. Flim Flam fumbles through his gear for the chest of demons, produces it with a proud ta-da, and scoops the croaking frog demon safely inside. Scooby cheers, though they admit the battered old chest still has a few bugs to fix. With Maldor sealed away, Zagraz and the Freed Kingdom pour out their thanks for saving them from the demon's grip, wishing him locked up forever. Yet the victory tastes bitter because Daphne and Princess Esmeralda still lie trapped in the sleep of the centuries. Zagraz reveals the cruel catch. That deep spell can only be broken by the kiss of a great Danish prince, and no one has the faintest idea where to find such a rare person out here in a lonely, cursed castle. Then Scooby cheerfully answers the call, and Scrappy realizes their Great Dane is close enough to a great Danish prince to try. Shaggy laughs that it will simply have to do, since they are fresh out of better options for waking the two sleepers. Scooby gives Daphne a friendly nudge, and at last she stirs awake, free of the spell. He does the very same for Princess Esmeralda, who springs up smitten and chases her clumsy new prince around the room while Vincent warmly bids the sweet prince adieu. Vincent's next clue carries the team far across the world to Marrakesh, where swamis dwell and a rather posh hotel hides a wicked ghost with an evil mind. His spooky little rhyme promises danger, and the friends set out to grab another ghostie for the chest. They reach the Marrakesh Hotel, the meeting place named in Vincent's telegram. Scrappy is already spoiling for a fight and cannot wait to splat a ghost flat. But the streets are jammed, the loading zone is reserved for camels, and some strange convention has swallowed the town. A snippy attendant scolds them, insisting the white zone is only for loading and unloading camels, with no parking allowed at all. The friends realize the whole place is packed for some gathering they do not yet understand, and Scrappy proudly declares he will handle everything himself.
Parking. Mention in town. I'll handle this.
He storms into the grand lobby yelling puppy power, ordering everyone to freeze because he is certain a ghost hides among the guests. A prim concierge peels the little dog away at once, scolding that he is annoying the visitors and must leave without a reservation. Shaggy mutters that he himself has plenty of reservations about this entire trip. But the very moment the concierge hears that the world-famous Scooby-Doo has arrived, his whole manner melts into warm welcome. Scrappy still swears, sniffing the air, that a ghost is close by. And he is right, because the bumbling demons Bojo and Weird are already lurking in the hotel. They snicker that the friends swallowed a phony telegram, hook, line, and stinker, a clever trap laid to lure the whole team straight into danger. Weird sneers that once the guests check in, they will never check out. The pair shadow the friends toward room 1313, where the maids are still busy cleaning. But something goes horribly wrong inside, and a scream rips out of the supposedly empty suite. A ghostly recording of Vincent's warning suddenly plays, telling every listening mortal that whoever opened the chest of demons released 13 of the most terrifying ghosts upon the earth. Bojo and Weird barge in, only to learn the ones who freed the demons must help catch them. The demons whine, asking why the burden falls on them, and Vincent's voice answers plainly, because they let the ghosts out in the first place. It is a duty they cannot dodge, tied forever to the mess their own clumsiness first unleashed upon the world. But the pair botch the whole job. They dragged out the maid instead of the friends, and their unseen ghostly boss is furious. He snarls that he wanted that miserable Scooby-Doo and his friends delivered, not a shrieking cleaning lady pulled from the wrong room. Bojo and Weird stammer that room 1313 really is the target's room. They simply never guessed the maid would wander in. The hidden ghost silences them and demands the mortals now. Trembling, the demons promise to hunt the friends down through every floor of the hotel. Meanwhile, the friends puzzle over why Vincent would ever pick a paranormal convention. Shaggy jokes he cannot spot a single pair of normal guys in the place, but Daphne explains that paranormal means a cult, exactly the kind of place Vincent and a ghostie would appear.
Find them! See that you do!
Why?
Paranormal convention?
Shaggy insists it is exactly the kind of place they will not be found, but a starry-eyed fan spots Scooby and gushes over the world-famous ghost chaser, begging for an autograph. Scooby signs happily, puffing up with pride and proudly declaring himself a genuine star. Shaggy calls him a 4-star klutz instead. Nearby, a scattered fortune teller named Selma keeps getting interrupted, insisting she is receiving a transmission on her crystal ball. The call, it turns out, is no idle gossip. Someone urgently needs to reach Scooby or his party. As they head to take the call, Scrappy drifts to a salesman hawking gadgets, most eagerly the VacuSpook 2000, billed as the very latest word in ghost-catching equipment. Bojo and Weird spot the split-up friends and slink closer, sure this is their chance to nab them. At the crystal ball, the real Vincent finally reaches them and warns he never sent any telegram. It is a trap. An evil spirit lured them here on purpose, and to save themselves they must find a special charm called the Amulet of Ishkabibble. Shaggy would rather bibble right out the door, but chaos erupts first. The salesman's VacuSpook goes haywire when a forbidden switch is flipped, sucking poor Scooby inside, while Flimflam calmly haggles the price of the runaway machine down to almost nothing at all. The salesman despairs of ever selling a thing. A convention announcer reminds everyone that voting for the Ghost Catcher of the Year award begins that very night. The shiny idea sparks the two demons, who realize catching the evil spirit could win them the prize. The ghostly boss scolds Bojo and Weird for nearly having the friends and losing them yet again, then sends them scrambling back into the chase. Vincent's warnings grow louder in the friends' ears, telling them trouble is brewing and they must flee the convention fast.
That evil spirit, we could...
Numbskull! We almost had him! Look, Weird!
Vincent says there's trouble brewing. We gotta get...
Ducking into a quiet room, the friends run straight into the suspicious concierge, who announces they have returned to the scene of the crime. A guest named Elizabeth, he insists, was pulled right into an evil mirror inside this very room, and only they held a key. So the concierge holds them until the authorities arrive and instructs a comically hard-boiled detective, Elliot Messy, from downtown. He demands just the facts, ma'am, while the flustered maid tries to describe the horrible scream she heard while scrubbing the room clean. The detective frisks the friends, threatens them with Sing Sing, then just as suddenly reveals the whole scene was staged as part of some show and lets the baffled group go. Shaggy begs anybody, to finally clue him in on what is going on. Daphne pieces it together at last. Vincent warned an evil spirit is hunting them, and that spirit surely kidnapped the maid and pulled Elizabeth into the mirror. Scrappy vows to splat the ghosty one, certain now that a real menace haunts every hall of this hotel. Vincent had mentioned an amulet that could help, so Flimflam points them to the bazaar down the street where all kinds of jewelry are sold. Shaggy grumbles it is plenty bizarre right here, but the demons overhear the plan and race to head the friends off. A hopeful salesman tags along with a ghost locator gadget nobody trusts, and then they all see it. A mirror floating entirely by itself drifts through the crowd, an awesome and eerie sight, and the friends know at once they are staring at the evil spirit.
Oh, something to see, I must say. Totally mental with excitement.
In the noisy bazaar, every stall shouts about amulets, but one mysterious vendor beckons Daphne aside and offers the true amulet of Ishkabibble. The price, he says softly, is only her happiness. The inscription is written in a strange foreign tongue none of them can read. Daphne is left holding the charm with no idea how to work it. The demons close in, weird, sending Bojel to grab the friends, just as a bazaar host launches talent night and hauls Shaggy and Scooby onto the stage as shy, unwilling volunteers. Trapped in the spotlight, the pair turn their panic into a bouncy song about giving trouble the old flimflam, singing that lying, cheating, and stealing never pay while ghosties try to run their scams. Then they spot the floating mirror and quietly plan to grab it. Flimflam lays out the scheme in the middle of the number. When he gives the signal, they will all seize the possessed mirror at once. The song swells to its finish, promising they will surely save the day, and everyone braces for the grab. On the mark, they lunge together, but they tackle the wrong pair entirely, tangling with innocent bystanders while the true mirror slips clean away. The hidden ghostly boss seethes, calling the demons miserable idiots who cannot get anything right no matter how simple the task. The evil spirit finally reveals the stakes. Those 5 mortals are the only ones alive who can ever return him to his crypt, so he wants them captured without fail, and he warns Bojel and Weird that this is truly their very last chance. Daphne finds Scooby and Scrappy again, still holding the amulet she cannot read and worried sick about the others. The plan sharpens. They must rush back to the hotel for the Vacuuspook and trap the mirror demon before it swallows up even one more person. The Vacuuspook waits upstairs, so they creep up the back way, whispering above all else to stay quiet so the concierge does not hear them. The warning travels down the line like a game, each friend repeating it a little louder than the one before. Of course, the concierge hears every single word, delighted they announce themselves so plainly. He is still convinced they kidnapped his maid and vows they will not trick him this time. The friends protest their innocence as the night tips over into New Year's Eve. Amid cheerful cries of Happy New Year and a warm chorus of Auld Lang Syne, the team slips free once more, waving goodbye and promising to see everyone next year. But the mirror demon still roams the halls, and their real fight is only just beginning.
I Scrappy some stilts, and besides, it's New Year's Eve! Happy New Year!
The chase spills into a strange holiday scene where the demons Bojel and Weird play at New Year celebrations. Shaggy and Scooby stay focused. They grab the Vacuuspook, split up, and plan to meet back at the same spot to trap the loose ghost. But 2 smiling saleswomen block their path. They call themselves the House of Boolala, offering the newest clothes at low prices. It is a trap in disguise. They coax Shaggy and Scooby toward a dressing room, promising the outfits bring out their eyes. Shaggy hesitates, unsure of the strange fashion. Daphne shouts a warning, but it comes too late. The saleswomen throw off their friendly act, laughing that they have caught the foolish mortals. Shaggy and Scooby are pulled straight into a tall, standing mirror. Inside the glass, everything is reversed. Shaggy cannot tell up from down, and the whole place runs backward. He wants out fast, but the mirror world has no clear door. Then Daphne's voice reaches them, and the group realizes the trap has caught more than two. There seems to be no way out at all. A gloating ghost taunts them, insisting escape is impossible. But Daphne, Flimflam, and Vincent are trapped inside too, and together they refuse to give up. The friends begin searching every backward corner for a weakness. The trapped friends greet each other with dry humor. Vincent mentions an amulet he was meant to find, and Flimflam's ears perk up at the word. The ghost sneers that the amulet is useless and orders them to put it down at once, which only proves it matters. Flimflam studies the amulet's writing and grins. It is not a foreign tongue at all, only ordinary words printed backward, exactly like the mirror world. He reads the little rhyme aloud, calling on the magic portal to open up for one poor mortal caught inside. The mirror answers the spell. A shimmering doorway forms, and the ghost screams in protest as the group rushes it. Then the two Boolala saleswomen return, ready to finish the job, but the friends now hold the amulet's power and turn the tables fast. Bojal and Weird watch the tide turn against their side. With the leading ghost about to be bagged, the two demons scramble to save themselves. They decide to pack their bags before they get bagged too, and they flee the scene in their usual cowardly rush.
Before they bag us too!
Back home, the gang holds a playful award show. Flimflam presents a Ghost Catcher of the Year trophy and brings out a special guest. It turns out to be the same peddler who first handed him the amulet, and the group recognizes a familiar hidden helper. The peddler reveals himself as Vincent Van Ghoul in disguise. Daphne asks why he wore the strange costume, and Vincent explains that his true presence might have frightened off the demon before the trap could work. His secret help had guided them the whole time. Vincent starts to present the trophy, but Flimflam cuts in, thanking everyone before anyone can stop him. The others remind him the award is really for Scooby. Scrappy nudges the little con artist aside so his brave uncle can finally receive his honest prize. The friends ask Flimflam to share the secret of his endless success. He grins and breaks into a cheerful little song with Scooby. Whenever trouble starts brewing and they land in a jam, the answer is simple. They give the world the old Flimflam charm. The song ends with a joyful Scooby-Dooby-Doo, and one more loose ghost is safely handled. But the chest of demons still holds only part of its lost prisoners. The gang settles down, unaware that the next danger will arrive through their own television screen. After a long day chasing demons to the living ends, the friends do what any tired family does. When the work is finally done, the gang settles down together to watch late-night television, hoping for a quiet evening and a harmless spooky movie. On the screen, a horror hostess named Zomba greets her viewers, asking if they are ready to scream with fear. Scooby and Scrappy cheer at the television. It is well past 2 in the morning, and Daphne wonders aloud what is keeping everyone awake so late. The late feature is a silly monster movie the gang has seen 100 times. Everyone loves it. Before settling in, Flimflam asks Scooby to lock up the chest of demons for the night and switch on the security alarm, so nothing can slip out while they relax.
Frankenstein.
Oops, I've seen it 100 times.
Alfito! Can we stay up, Daphne?
Well,
Shaggy fetches the soda and Scooby heads for the popcorn. Counting 6 friends and 6 bowls, Scooby decides they need 6 whole pounds. He drops it in the microwave, sets the heat to an absurd 8 million degrees, and waits for things to start popping. Scooby returns with a mountain of popcorn just as the film begins. But the gang soon notices something wrong. On screen, Zomba addresses her viewers by name, calling out Scooby-Doo and friends directly. He sees them watching because Zomba sees and knows. The gang jumps back in alarm. The television shows Vincent's own warning about the chest, and the story turns real. Zomba is no ordinary host. She is one of the 13 escaped ghosts reaching out from the film to hunt the friends who freed her kind. Bojal and Weird appear inside the movie too, eager to help the villain. A warning repeats that only the gang can return the demons to the chest since they let them loose. The friends barely have time to protest before the screen pulls them right in. Suddenly, the gang stands inside the old black and white film where villagers chase a doctor. Frankenstein. It does not seem possible, yet they are trapped in the movie. Vincent realizes Zomba has done this, one of the 13 spirits using the film as a cage. Zomba admits her plan with a cruel laugh. She has trapped Vincent and the gang on the film for eternity, giving herself plenty of time to hunt down their precious demon chest. Once she frees her fellow spirits and destroys the box, she will be free forever.
Zomba's done this to us.
Oh, You're so right lengths to trap you on that film.
Vincent recognizes the scene as the movie's opening chase through the cemetery. In the film's own doctor, Frankenstein begs the gang for help. The painted characters have grown tired of being chased a million times, and they cheerfully quit and walk off set. The movie characters wish them luck and hurry away, leaving the gang to take their places as angry villagers approach. Flimflam has a plan. They have all watched this film 100 times and know every line, so they will simply play along until Vincent frees them. Flimflam assigns the roles like a movie director. Scrappy becomes Egga the Helper, and nervous Scooby is cast as the Great Doctor. Frankenscoob. Flimflam sweet-talks Scooby into the part, praising his face, his smile, and his natural gift for dramatic acting. The scene begins, and the villagers rush the Mad Doctor. Following the movie's script, the gang escapes down a hidden tunnel that leads back to the castle laboratory. The plot demands that Dr. Frankenscoob must complete his greatest experiment tonight. Scooby nervously repeats his line about bringing the monster to life. Meanwhile, the real Vincent works his magic, heating a crystal to reach the true world outside the film. It begins to work, but the vision he sees fills him with dread and warning. Through the crystal, Vincent watches Zomba discover where the gang hid the chest of demons in the real world. He gloats that the chest is hers now, snatching it away. The friends are trapped in a movie while their most important treasure falls into enemy hands. Zomba vows to destroy the chest while the gang stays helpless inside the film. Straining, she tries to pry it open. But the friends must keep acting their parts, so the story pushes forward toward the monster's creation even as disaster looms outside. Knock interrupts the lab scene. It is Daphne playing Frankenscoob's bride-to-be, scolding him for leaving her waiting at the altar. Poor confused Scooby apologizes, tangled between the silly romance of the script and the very real danger closing in around them. Another knock brings Shaggy as Constable Von Shagabond, arriving to stop the Mad Doctor and calling him insane. Scooby takes the insult to heart until Shaggy hurries to explain it is only a movie line. The two friends make up while the experiment quietly begins. Vincent heats the crystal higher, hoping its mystic energy can carry them home. It is their only chance, but Zomba appears, taunting that they will never escape. She reveals the captured chest and prepares to free her fellow spirits at last, then freezes in shock.
It's our only hope.
You'll never escape. I now have what I want.
The chest is empty. It is a clever fake, and the gang laughs at the trick. If Zomba wants the true chest of demons, they dare her to come and get it. Furious, she gives chase as Vincent scrambles away with the real box hidden safely in his hands. Back in the movie's story, the storm reaches its peak and the power surges to bring the monster to life. Lightning cracks through the lab and the great table rises. Scrappy calls for help as the machine roars, and something on the slab begins to stir at last. The monster wakes with a groaning cry that it is alive. Shaggy jokes about whether the creature is house-trained, but the danger is real on two fronts now. Zomba hunts them through the colorful film while the newborn monster lurches after the frightened gang. The monster corners them, but Flimflam thinks fast. Pretending to be the film's director, he yells cut and complains that the monster's acting is lifeless and dull. He calls for makeup, sits the confused creature down, and buys the gang precious time to slip away. Vincent reappears and Shaggy begs for an escape. There is only a slim chance the crystal can save them. Then Zomba strikes again, demanding the chest of demons. Scrappy wants to fight, but Shaggy pretends to surrender and offers to reveal the hiding place. Shaggy points Zomba toward a door, claiming the chest waits behind it, and she rushes through only to be tricked once more. The gang bolts for the laboratory. It has become a wild game of chase, with clever fake-outs keeping the ghost one step behind them. The gang flees toward the basement, while Vincent readies his final plan. If the crystal's mystic fluid grows hot enough, the coming lightning could carry them all home. Scooby and Shaggy think they have lost Zomba, but relief never lasts long in this haunted film. The two friends barely catch their breath before the monster looms behind them again. The chase never truly stops. Every hallway holds a new fright, keeping Scooby and Shaggy running as Vincent works desperately to power the crystal to its breaking point. In the lab, Flimflam throws the switch and the crystal begins to heat. It is working, but the friends add too much power at once and Vincent shouts to shut it down. The crystal overloads, sparking and shaking until it is clear the whole machine is about to blow.
Throw the switch!
Contact!
Shaggy wants to run, but Scooby refuses. The heavy movie monster is pinned beneath fallen beams, and brave Scooby will not leave even a make-believe creature to be crushed. With a mouthful of Scooby snacks for strength, he lifts the huge beams and frees it. The rescued monster cries for its mama and rushes toward the shocked Zomba, adding to the chaos. Scooby and Shaggy dash for the elevator as Zomba vows to destroy them and the chest together. For a moment it seems they have finally lost her for good, but they are still trapped in the movie. Vincent admits his crystal theory has backfired, and the gang fears they are stuck forever. Then he names one last hope. If they can trap Zomba inside the demon chest, her spell will shatter and set them all free. A cry for help rings out. Scooby is being squeezed by the monster while Zomba closes in for the kill. Vincent shouts his plan into action, and the friends prepare their final gamble, knowing the chest is the only thing that can end this nightmare film. Daphne calls for Scooby to throw down the chest. He tosses it, but nervous paws send it tumbling wide again and again, each miss sharper than the last. Zomba lunges for the box, and the whole plan teeters on one clumsy, desperate catch after another. At the final moment, Vincent snatches the chest from the air with perfect timing. He opens it toward Zomba, and the ghost is dragged inside, howling her farewell. The lid slams shut, sealing the horror hostess away with her fellow captured spirits at last. In a blink, the gang tumbles back into their own living room. They have escaped the movie. With Zomba boxed, her spell broke, and the film released them all. The friends breathe a giant sigh of relief, grateful to be home in the ordinary quiet of night. Shaggy relaxes too soon, and Vincent warns him not to be so sure the danger is over. Frankenscoop's monster has followed them out. Scrappy proudly claims the gentle creature as his boy, a soft reminder that adventures rarely end as neatly as anyone hopes.
Zomba was boxed, her spell was... Well, that's the last we'll see of old Zomba!
Be so sure of that, Shaggy.
Once more, Vincent's grave warning echoes about the chest of demons and the 13 terrible ghosts it released upon the earth. Only this gang can return the spirits to the box, whether they like it or not, because their own hands set the creatures free. Vincent counts the danger still ahead. 13 ghosts were set loose, and he cannot say which is the scariest of them all. Yet he hints that the grossest creature he will ever face is a strange thing simply called the dinner guest, waiting somewhere in the dark. Back in his castle, Vincent Van Ghoul notices his television buzzing with a strange power. It is more than a broken set. On the screen he sees a coven of witches, and above them floats a dark demon cloud that troubles him deeply. The warlock knows at once that this evil comes straight from the chest of demons. A wicked ghost called Marcella is trapped, but her sister witches plan to free her. They must gather at Stonehenge at midnight to recite the deadly spell number 13. The witches huddle over a black book of spells, following each written line with glee. Marcella warns them that everything depends on this book. If it is lost, no chant can free her, and all their long scheming will collapse into nothing. Vincent calls the gang to warn them. Wicked witches and demon clouds, Daphne repeats, wondering where to even begin. The warlock cannot come along himself, for a darker task pulls him away, but he sends the young friends to steal the spell book first. If they fail to recover that book, Vincent says gravely, no amount of luck will save any of them. He sets off alone into a strange, creeping mist, hoping to reach it before it reaches him, while the gang races toward the witch's house.
Out chasing ghosts!
Run!
Too many ghosts, Mr. Van Ghoul. He needs me.
And if you like that jump,
At the witch's door, Daphne plans to slip inside and grab the book. Flimflam brags about his own little guide, 101 Ways to Outswitch a Witch, calling it foolproof. Shaggy and Scooby groan, sure it will only prove them fools. Inside, the witches Wanda and Ernestine read the recipe for spell 13. It calls for pickled dodo bird feathers, powdered moon rocks, and worst of all, golden cobra rattles and Paris sewer water. They discover to their dismay that they are fresh out of both. Never one to miss a chance, Flimflam sets up a wild sales pitch, offering rare ingredients for nothing at all just because he is crazy, he grins. The greedy witches take the bait, eager for cobra rattles and Paris sewer water to finish their brew. Meanwhile, Scooby and the gang grab the real spellbook from inside the house. But the witches spin around, realizing they have been tricked and their precious book is stolen. Stop them, they shriek and send screeching bat wings swooping after the fleeing friends. Shaggy and Scooby scramble for their lives as the bat wings dive close. Hang on, Scoob, Shaggy shouts, and the two barely wriggle free. The chase is chaos, but the gang keeps a tight grip on the stolen book of spells. Far away, Vincent gropes through total darkness, seeing nothing but blackness on every side. He wishes his own luck were better than the gang's. Then he finds a poor trapped creature and, kind as ever, sets it gently free from its snare.
ship.
So
Here, and keep an eye on Scooby. We'll check out
But the darkness hides a trap of its own. Marcella's mocking voice rises, promising that while Vincent rots there, her sister witches will free her to haunt the heavens and the earth. The warlock has walked straight into her prison of shadows. The bumbling witches try a rescue spell of their own, chanting to turn one sister into a snake for a second to distract a guardian cobra. Wanda fumbles the words and the sisters bicker, squabbling like a comedy act while the danger only grows around them. Flimflam insists his plan is perfect, asking when he has ever steered anyone wrong. The gang has no time to reach Paris for the sewer water. So the clever boy decides with a grin that if they cannot go to Paris, they will bring Paris to them. But the witches try a switching spell to move whole places, and it goes terribly wrong. Suddenly, the gang finds itself standing in Nome, Alaska, shivering in the snow. One witch read the wrong line, and Paris and a desert have swapped places entirely. The magic keeps twisting the world, dropping Paris and its sewers right where the gang can reach them. The witches still need that sewer water for their spell, so Flimflam plots his next trick. Everyone dives down into the strange transported sewers of Paris. Marcella gloats to the captured warlock that once the witches reach Stonehenge and brew their potion, they will chant spell 13 and set her free. Vincent cannot follow her, she sneers, not without his lovely magic necklace, which she now holds. In the sewers, Flimflam appears in disguise as Pierre, the finest sewer painter in all of Paris, begging to paint the witch's portrait. The trick keeps them busy and distracted long enough for the gang to work, before the boy waves a cheerful goodbye. Marcella loses patience with the singing, squabbling sisters and roars at them to reach Stonehenge and cast spell 13 at once. The witches leap onto their brooms and streak into the sky, and the gang gives chase, following the brooms toward the ancient stones. Confident of victory, Marcella prepares her grand entrance into the mortal world, choosing gowns of blood red, her favorite color. She leaves Vincent trapped and helpless, taunting that he lacks the taste to appreciate the very jewelry she has taken from him.
Will burst open. The captured spirit.
Not if we...
You can practice the trick later,
At Stonehenge, the witches begin their spell. Scrappy wishes Vincent were here to guide them, but Flimflam swears he has found a foolproof plan. Shaggy reminds him kindly but firmly that his plans backfire every single time they try one. Daphne bluffs her way in, pretending to be a powerful witch named Daphne leading a band of nasty meanies. The Brewski sisters boast of becoming the most powerful and beautiful witches on Earth, never once guessing what the disguised gang is really up to. The greedy sisters offer to show the book, but only in trade for a puppy dog tail eyeing Scoobies. When Daphne hints the spell might be big, they decide they will need the whole dog. Poor Scooby yelps and cries out for Shaggy to help. Everything unravels at once. The demon Mist Vincent was meant to handle still roams free, and the witches recognize the same meddling kids from before. Our book they screech stop them as the gang snatches it and bolts, brooms and all, into the chaos. The magic necklace Eidsvik sparks wildly, and suddenly Vincent Van Ghoul himself drops in, freed at last. So nice of you to arrive, the gang cheers, breathless with relief. The warlock tells everyone to stay calm and hands the spell book to Scooby. Spell 13 is beginning and they must stop it. Vincent reads the true words aloud. Marcella, trapped inside your zone, he chants, we send you now to a different home, back into the demon chest where the wicked ghost belongs at last. The witches shriek that this is the wrong spell, but it is exactly what the book says. Marcella howls in fury as she is dragged back into the chest of demons. Nighty-night, Marcella, Vincent says, and takes the dangerous book for safekeeping. Daphne asks how the warlock made the witches read the wrong spell. It all happened during that delightful broom ride, he laughs, and the key was the necklace Eidsvik. Flimflam proudly adds that his own little Switch-a-Witch book helped save the day too.
guys like me and Scooby, it's a snap.
Where am I?
But the book never taught them the most important thing, Vincent notes with a gentle smile, that friends and courage matter far more than any trick. The chest is sealed once more, and its ancient warning to all living mortals echoes over them. The next adventure begins with a long, hard climb. Someone struggles up a steep mountain, straining onward, unable to stop, carrying a small delivery toward Vincent's remote castle high above the clouds. Every weary step brings a new danger closer to the warlock's door. Aboard their flying craft, the gang heads for sunny California. Shaggy dreams of fun in the sun and Scooby diving, but Vincent reminds them the trip is serious. The Spectre detector shows a swarm of ghostly activity, and tonight is a dangerous initiation night. It is initiation night for SAPS, the Spook and Poltergeist Society, Vincent explains, so everyone must be very careful. Shaggy cheerfully promises to keep the whole gang as far from trouble as possible, and the warlock, wisely, has no doubt he will try. At the castle, a delivery man finally arrives with takeout Chinese food for Vincent. But something goes wrong, and the poor fellow is sent tumbling all the way back down the mountain, forced to climb again just to bring the warlock his fortune cookies. When the delivery man returns, exhausted, he hands over the order. But hidden among the cookies is something terrible, the Eye of Eternity. Vincent cries out in horror as the cursed object is revealed, and a shadowy vampire looms suddenly in the room. The Spook and Poltergeist Society gathers to decide whether to accept new members. Their grim news chills the gang. Vincent Van Ghoul has gazed into the Eye of Eternity. Within 24 hours, they warn, he will turn completely and forever to stone.
They call it the trance of love. It works on anyone.
Tis tonight. Oh, so...
Nearby, the sneaky demons Weird and Bojel plot fresh mischief, planning to ruin a flower parade. Their Monstifier formula will turn petals into monster magnolias and carnivorous carnations. They creep toward a hangar the Spectre detector marks as thick with ghostly energy. Inside the hangar, the demons stumble upon the chest of demons itself and panic, quickly vanishing before they can be caught. The gang bursts in chasing the flower nappers, tangling with a blooming monster and parade saboteurs in a ticklish, tumbling scramble. Then the gang finds Vincent, already turning to stone, pleading for help. If they cannot find a cure within 24 hours, he will be petrified forever. It all began, he sighs, with one small craving for takeout Chinese food and a hidden curse. Overhearing this, Weird and Bojel see a chance to finally join SAPS. If they save Vincent's life, they reason, the spooky society must let them in. To everyone's shock, the two former demons offer to help find the cure and mend their ghostly ways. Bojel and Weird, the two bumbling demons, suddenly change sides and offer to help. They flip through an old Ghoul Scout's handbook and find the answer at last. The cruel stone spell cast on Vincent by the Eye of Eternity can indeed be broken, but only one rare and hidden thing has the power to undo it. The one cure is the Mask of Muma, kept locked safely inside a museum on the far east coast. Bojel and Weird offer to take the whole gang straight to it. But clever Daphne is deeply suspicious and asks the pressing question, why on earth would these two sneaky tricksters ever choose to help them now?
Kara, I thought I'd seen the last of you.
I get it. I get his warlock powers, and now she's on her way to...
The reason is simple. For years, the Grand Spook and Poltergeist Society has refused to let Bojel and Weird join their ranks. By saving Vincent Van Ghoul, the pair hope to prove themselves and finally take sweet revenge on those who shut them out. But their fearsome Master Rancor watches from the shadows and is furious at this betrayal. He harshly orders his own dark servants to stop Bojel and Weird at any cost whatsoever. Those two traitor spooks must be destroyed before they can ever rescue the warlock and ruin his cruel and carefully laid plans. Meanwhile, Vincent, slowly hardening into solid gray stone, clings to a thread of hope. Only the mask's ancient power can save him now. Even Weird begins to wonder aloud why they should ever bother rescuing Van Ghoul at all, but the risky plan is already in motion and there is truly no turning back for anyone. Clever young Flimflam takes no chances with the slippery demons. He slaps special ghost-proof handcuffs on them, made so that no spook can simply slide free. If Bojel and Weird want to help, they will do it under close watch and honest terms. Vincent sternly warns them all to be very careful, because the rival society will try absolutely anything to stop the mission. Shaggy and Scooby, of course, would much rather wait behind and skip the whole scary trip, waving a nervous goodbye and cheerfully wishing everyone else good luck from the safety of home. But there is no easy escape. Shaggy realizes he left the keys to their plane locked inside the glove compartment. The gang is suddenly stranded with no way to reach the distant coast, and worse, they are still wanted as criminals by the police. Flimflam, ever the smooth young con artist, cheerfully waves all the worries away. As it just so happens, he also proudly runs the Flimflam travel agency on the side. He has already chartered a fine private jet with its very own pilot, so the whole tired team can fly clear across the country in real style. The confidence does not last very long. When the so-called private jet finally appears, it turns out to be a rickety, patched-together wreck barely fit to fly. Shaggy takes one nervous look and says he would much rather ride the bus, and Scooby quickly agrees with a whimper. This shabby little airport fills no one with hope.
Ooh, ah!
Bogle,
size?
Then danger strikes without warning. The rival society's ghosts ambush them right there on the runway, and the whole gang scatters wildly, running for their very lives. Bags fly, feet stumble, and the frightened friends barely dodge the first spooky attack of what will be a long and bumpy journey east. After a wild, tumbling scramble, they shake off the ghostly attackers. Shaggy jokes that they just had their first real run-in with the rival society. Rattled but unhurt, the team decides to find their pilot at last and finally get the show on the road. Their pilot is a sleepy old fellow who has clearly overslept and cannot even find his glasses. Squinting and half-blind, he can barely see a thing, yet he cheerfully introduces himself as Eddie Rickenbumper, ready and eager to fly them all to the coast. Vincent calls in again with grim and worrying news. Even more of his body has now turned to cold gray stone, and their precious time is running out fast. The gang simply must reach that mask soon. Meanwhile, the pilot miscounts his passengers entirely, a small but telling hint that this flight will be anything but smooth or safe. High above the wide, winding rivers, trouble finds the gang once again. The stubborn, persistent police, whom Shaggy still mistakes for pesky agents, spot the little plane and order it to pull over so they can finally slap on the handcuffs. Now the wild chase stretches out across the wide open sky itself. To lose the law, the half-blind pilot dives blindly toward two dark tunnels far below. The plane rattles and shakes as it barely squeezes through, jolting everyone hard. They shook up their pursuers, but they nearly shook themselves to pieces too. A fierce storm rolls in out of nowhere. Lightning cracks and howling wind tears at the little plane until all four of its flimsy wings rip clean away one by one. Shaggy cannot even bear to look, certain he must be trapped in some terrible waking nightmare high above the churning clouds. Somehow the pilot brings them down, calling it not a bad landing at all, though nobody knows where on earth they have crashed. They bounce oddly on something rubbery, and to their surprise it turns out to be a giant trampoline, a strange little rest stop.
Forget about Nakara. She's... Who is it?
Matt, we'll start with your dirty laundry.
Just then Vincent's face appears, demanding to know what is holding Flim Flam up. The bouncing sends the whole team flying skyward again, and the flying Flim Flam tour rides on, tumbling helplessly through the air toward their far-off destination. At last a sign welcomes them to Massachusetts, but so do the police, who have somehow followed the trail. Flim Flam bravely tells the others to scatter while he stalls the officers, playing dumb about any flower thieves the confused lawmen keep chasing. The mask is kept deep inside the famous Salem Witch Museum, and naturally the heavy front door is locked up tight. The chained demons Bojel and Weird finally prove useful here, leading the whole gang through a secret hidden way inside, so they can at last reach the precious and long-sought Mask of Muma. Flim Flam radios Vincent to report they have arrived and the mask is within reach. Vincent, weary and stony, urges them to hurry and use it at once. But first the demons demand their reward, insisting the ghost-proof cuffs come off as promised. A deal is a deal, so Flim Flam reluctantly frees Bojel and Weird from their special handcuffs. It is a risky bargain, for the moment those two tricksters are loose, no one can fully trust what they will do next inside the shadowy old museum. The clever plan works beautifully. Vincent gazes deep into the shining Mask of Muma, and slowly the cruel stone spell begins to lift away from him. He cheerfully mocks the demons, saying they may as well stop calling him a statue now. But then the freed spooks bolt for freedom, and the wild chase is on all over again. Chaos erupts in the museum. Something grabs at Shaggy, who cries out desperately for Scooby and Daphne to help him. The mission is nearly complete, yet the escaping ghosts and lurking dangers turn the final stretch into pure spooky pandemonium.
Dearly departed, and this enchantress for it.
It's time for Operation Triplet.
If any...
The rival society vows to deal harshly with any ghosts who have dared to turn good, meaning the newly loyal Bojel and Weird. Meanwhile, brave Flim Flam scrambles to keep the whole delicate plan from falling apart, as spooks scatter in every direction through the dim and dusty old museum halls. Suddenly, Vincent is fully restored, warm and lovable and himself again, saved in the very nick of time. The stone is gone, the warlock breathes free, and the exhausted gang feels a rush of relief after their long and battered cross-country race. But the stubborn police finally corner them, promising a whole 100 years behind bars and ordering the cuffs slapped on for good this time. The frantic gang pleads their case, swearing that the escaped ghosts caused all the trouble, not them, though the puzzled officers cannot see a single ghost anywhere in sight. In a clever twist, the friends produce a mummy to prove that real spooks exist. Vincent, feeling his rescued powers, plays along. But when no lasting ghost can be shown, the stubborn officers declare the whole gang under arrest anyway. With quick thinking and a helpful burst of magic, the team finally turns the tables. The bumbling rival ghosts get bundled away into the cozy dark, thanking the gang like pals, and the mission is truly accomplished. Daphne checks on Vincent, who happily assures everyone that thanks to them he is perfectly fine. The defeated rival spooks howl loudly in anger, bitterly blaming Bogle and Weird for saving Vincent Van Ghoul. Their reward is a harsh and bitter one. Because of this great failure, they will not be allowed to join the Grand Society for a full 100 years, a stinging punishment the two of them truly earned.
You beat her, Mr. Van Ghoul!
What a guy!
World's most powerful warlock, Vincent!
The flaky phantoms drift off, sent packing with a cheerful goodbye and no invitation to write. They will never become members, not in 100 million years. With Vincent safe at last, Scooby lets out a joyful Scooby-Dooby-Doo of pure triumph. A whole new adventure begins warmly back at home. Scooby's proud parents, Mumsy and Dada, beam with joy that their little boy has grown into a world-famous ghost chaser. To honor his grand homecoming, dear Mumsy has lovingly baked a giant double batch of fresh Scooby snacks for the biggest celebration the family has ever thrown. But then a strange flyer appears for Professor Phantasmo's Circus Fantastique, boldly promising a spectacular show like none ever seen before anywhere. The mysterious professor himself grandly invites the whole town to a night of fun from dusk till dawn, and tonight only, he announces, the entire circus is completely free. The gang cheers as they roll towards Scooby's hometown of Deauville, spelling out playful chants along the way. Excited Flim-Flam gets a little carried away, and Vincent gently forgives him, yet warns that even here they cannot ever let their guard down. Scooby proudly promises Vincent that the chest of demons is safe in his own careful paws. But danger listens close, for Bogle and Weird, the ever-scheming demons, are lurking nearby yet again, plotting to snatch that precious chest and cause fresh trouble for the old rivals who keep foiling them. The greedy demons pounce, and a wild, noisy scuffle quickly breaks out. Vincent firmly reminds Bogle and Weird that this whole ghostly mess is entirely their own fault, since they were the very ones who carelessly let the 13 demons out in the first place. The scramble ends with the two beaten spooks shoot off again. Sent bouncing away once more, the demons grumble bitterly at their rotten luck and swear they will fix the meddling gang for good. But their silly little schemes keep fizzling one after another, and for now the friends press happily on toward the mysterious new circus glowing brightly at the edge of town. Reaching Scooby's hometown of Deauville, the gang finds it eerily empty, with not a soul on the quiet streets. Scooby and Shaggy grow uneasy, nervously munching Scooby snacks for a little courage. Something feels deeply wrong here, and both of them quietly admit they do not like this strange, heavy silence one bit. Distant cheerful music tells them a circus is in full swing nearby, so they all decide to go and see it for themselves. Little Scrappy eagerly begs to visit, and Flim-Flam, dreaming up a clever 2-for-1 bargain, happily agrees at once. The whole curious little group heads off toward the bright and glowing tents.
And we get left holding the bag!
Spell number 13. Put your words on and let me read it, will ya?
Professor Phantasmo greets them all grandly, proudly calling the circus Fantastique his greatest pride and joy in all the world. Flim-Flam was exactly right, for every single person in town is here, even Scooby's own parents, Mumsy and Dada, who simply could not resist coming out for such a free and dazzling nighttime show. Flim-Flam admires the setup, and Phantasmo boasts that circus life is the most exciting one in the world. Vincent counters that ghost chasing beats it, but the smooth professor scoffs, insisting with a sly smile that there is truly no such thing as ghosts. When shown the genuine chest of demons, Phantasmo's eyes gleam bright with greedy interest. He purrs smoothly that such a rare wonder would make a marvelous star attraction in his sideshow. Flim-Flam, ever the eager young dealer, happily floats the tempting idea that the two of them could become business partners together. But Vincent's keen instincts prickle. He dislikes the eerie funeral-like music and the very name Professor Phantasmo. Sensing something deeply wrong beneath the fun, the wise warlock quietly decides to run a mystic check on this suspicious circus. The gang notices the funhouse is oddly closed for repairs, with the professor claiming its music speaker is broken. His excuses ring hollow. Lurking nearby, Bogle and Weird overhear the sly circus master and sense that this Phantasmo is up to no good. Danger flares up as Shaggy gets trapped inside a strange, spooky mask and begs desperately to be let out of the whole frightening place. The circus, so bright and cheerful at first, is now beginning to show its dark and dangerous true side, and one by one the friends feel the fun slowly curdling into cold fear. The ghostly demons remember they can simply vanish to escape, and Shaggy tries hard to hurry everyone out of the tent. But Scooby, strangely charmed by the show, declares this circus is truly awesome and says he could happily stay here forever, as if some quiet dark spell has already taken firm hold of him. Shaggy grows more and more alarmed as Scooby stubbornly refuses to leave, insisting this is the greatest happening place around for miles. The sly professor coos softly for the friends to stay, promising the real fun has only just begun, but Shaggy senses true danger and urges his pal Scooby to step on it right now.
Us! With a magic spell! Hama, hama, hama! Oh, no, that's...
Oh my gosh, what have those witches done?
Scooby's family agrees the circus was fun right up until the boys pulled them away in a hurry. But sweet relief soon turns to sharp worry when little Scrappy sniffs around and discovers something truly terrible. Clever Flimflam is missing, left behind somewhere deep inside Phantasmo's dark and sinister circus of horrors. The truth becomes clear as Phantasmo reveals his cruel plan. His circus will never let a visitor leave. He tricks the trusting Flimflam into signing a contract as his first ever partner, snaring the boy into the show with a wicked, glittering promise. Dressed in flashy new circus clothes, poor Flimflam is now fully under the professor's evil spell, eager to be the best right-hand ringmaster the show ever had. Phantasmo gloats greedily over the thought of trapping Scooby-Doo and his ghost chasers, then quietly frowns and notes that the precious chest of demons is not here yet. Still stuck together by their earlier magic mishap, Bojel and Weird bumble through the tents hunting for Scooby and the kids. The demons squabble and stumble, but their snooping soon leads them straight toward the black heart of Phantasmo's evil circus. Phantasmo suddenly confronts the two spying demons, boasting proudly that their very presence there reveals the true evil nature of his whole circus. Cowering in fear, Bojel and Weird grovel low before the powerful villain, and even nervously offer to help him steal the precious chest of demons all by themselves. Pleased, Phantasmo decides the groveling ghosts may be useful after all. He hands them his magic whip and orders them to find Scooby-Doo's house and carry out his dark commands. The demons scurry off, awed by just how truly bad the professor is. Following the magic whip's pull, Bojel and Weird reach a house they believe is the right one, their wicked spirits rising as they prepare to strike. The villain's long reach now stretches far beyond the circus tents, threatening the gang and the precious chest wherever they might try to hide.
Miss Van Ghoul, and too bad you don't...
At the Doo home, Vincent arrives at the perfect moment, for the family reports that Flimflam has vanished. The warlock reveals the grim truth. The boy is trapped under Professor Phantasmo's evil spell, snared inside a place far darker than it seemed. Vincent explains the full horror to them. The professor's cheerful calliope music cleverly hides a midway swarming with monsters, and unless they act very fast, poor Flimflam will be trapped inside that circus of horrors forever. Shaggy shudders and shivers at the very word monsters, repeated again and again in dread. Bravely, the gang hurries back to the giant circus tent to rescue their trapped friend. The very moment they slip inside, the goofy ghosts appear again, so the clever team decides that a little clowning around might just help them sneak past unseen through the busy, crowded, and very dangerous Big Top. When Phantasmo's ghosts try to grab the chest, brave little Scrappy stands firm, declaring the box is protected by puppy power. He and Scooby dash away with the demons close behind, and in the wild scramble they accidentally trip up a friendly spook. For once the clumsy pair does something right, tumbling the good ghost by pure blundering luck and cheering their small victory. The rescue is far from over, with poor Flimflam still bewitched and the monstrous professor plodding close by, but the loyal, fearless gang refuses to leave a single friend behind in that circus of horrors. Baron Phantasmo's evil circus still held the gang under its spell, and the demons crowed about a revolting coincidence. They sent their goons chasing after Scooby, who had bolted with the chest of demons, sure he could not have run far.
Oh, that demon missed.
What is going on here? Yeah. Spell 13's ready to go.
But it was not Scooby driving. It was Scrappy wheeling around for a sneak attack, thrilled to find his uncle at last. Together they raced to free the others, ducking low, unwilling to split up until every friend was safe. Phantasmo gloated over his captured audience, ordering them kept in their seats until sunrise. Then the gang spotted Daphne and cheered until they saw her stiff circus disguise. Shaggy realized the awful truth. Poor Daphne had been given a big top brainwashing. Everything nearly fell apart when the chest broke open and the 3 demon lunatics grabbed it. Phantasmo barked at Flimflam to fetch it back, but the brave young con artist refused, shouting he was breaking his friends out of this bogus big top. Flimflam readied the chest, hoping his plan would work because he was tired of the ringmaster act. In a flash, the spell shattered and the friends found themselves home again, safe, blinking, wondering how the Doo family would ever get their real home back. A cheerful little rhyme closed the circus chapter. The evil circus had shut its doors, and Baron Phantasmo was no more. The gang had won again, but their next strange creature would not be waiting in a tomb or up a tree this time. Instead, their next hunt would happen on television. The scene opened on a spooky studio where the host of horror, Boris Karloff, welcomed his ghoulish audience to a show so scary you would not believe it. The whole gang was about to appear live. Scrappy grew nervous, but Shaggy told him television was no big deal, urging him to stay suave and cool. Then came the 5-minute call, and the crew realized a problem. Scooby and Shaggy had vanished, hiding somewhere that gave them the creeps. The 2 cowards froze when a real mummy strolled past, but Daphne calmed them, explaining he was just a guest on the show. She reminded them they needed Boris' help to trap the demon that kept slipping away using the Vacuospook device. Scooby and Shaggy still refused, until Daphne offered Scooby snacks. That was a bribe they could never resist, though she teased them, promising the treats only after the show. Shaggy grumbled that he had known there would be a catch. On stage, the amazing Talula appeared, the mysterious lady who wrote the horoscopes and read the spirits. She warned of grave danger coming for someone with the initials S.D. Scooby gulped and Shaggy declared it was their cue to skidoo at once.
I told you don't bother me with...
It's working.
Now that...
Before they could flee, the show's director, Freddy Cadaver, greeted them and said they were on next. Scrappy strutted toward his big moment, dreaming of stardom, while Shaggy begged Daphne one more desperate time not to make them go on this creepy show. Daphne set the Scooby snacks aside as their reward and pushed them forward. Meanwhile, lurking in the shadows, the bumbling demons Weird and Bojel watched everything, snickering that this time they would finally grab the chest and get rid of those kids. Weird showed Bojel a switch that controlled a trapdoor backstage, telling him to flip it on his signal. But Bojel tangled himself in a hopeless muddle of words, unable to tell which switch was which watch, or which he meant. Weird tried again to explain the simple task, but Bojel spun into a dizzy jumble of switches, watches, and witches until he moaned that he was hopelessly confused. On stage, the countdown ticked down while the 2 demons still could not agree on the plan. Boris warmly welcomed his old acquaintance Vincent Van Ghoul, the warlock, who said they had much to discuss. Then Vincent introduced his ghost-catching friends and explained why they had come, promising the audience a small, thrilling demonstration. Vincent announced he would conjure an evil spirit and trap it inside the chest of demons. But backstage, Bojel flipped the wrong switches, throwing the whole studio into chaos as the spirit stirred into a tizzy and the set shook and rattled. Weird scolded Bojel for switching the wrong ones, but the damage was done. The lights went out. When they flickered back, the chest of demons had vanished. Vincent warned that if it fell into the wrong hands, the demons would be set loose. The gang scrambled to find it, Shaggy calling for the chest as if it were a lost puppy. Vincent sensed dark powers at work. Then he turned to Boris, hoping his old friend had nothing to do with the theft of the sacred chest. Boris acted deeply wounded, protesting that Vincent, his oldest and dearest friend, would never accuse him of so low a trick. Scrappy learned the 2 had gone to school together at Terror Tech, graduating in a year they joked was simply 36.
It's throwing off the transport. It's sending...
Vincent decided to return to his castle to get to the bottom of the debacle, promising to make contact if he found anything. Just then, Scooby discovered his lost Scooby snacks sitting on stage, though he had left them safely backstage all along. Daphne felt powerful spirit vibrations around the box holding the treats and called for a seance. Shaggy only wanted to hold the box to get to the bottom of it, meaning the snacks, but Daphne insisted the box was evidence they could not eat. Elsewhere, the trio of demons sang a smug little song, boasting they had tricked the foolish mortals and stolen the chest. But their master, the lion demon Simbulu, snarled that they had bungled it, for someone else had grabbed the chest first. Weird and Bojal groveled, begging forgiveness from your awfulness and your disgustingness. Simbulu growled that he must have that chest and ordered them to find it before those meddling kids did, or else face his terrible anger. As the demons slunk off, Bojal again blamed his partner for the switches, and the two nearly fell back into their dizzy witch and watch argument. Weird cut it short, dragging Bojal along before they could start the whole confusing muddle once more. Back at the studio, Tallulah offered to help by reading her tarot cards for soothsaying. She laid them across the Scooby snacks and gasped at an incredible image. The cards revealed a lighthouse, and the chest, she said, was hidden inside it. The only lighthouse nearby stood on lookout point, so the gang decided to move out. Tallulah warned them to be careful, for this evil spirit was extra powerful. In truth, she was feeding the demons the plan, telling them to keep the kids away. At the Lookout Point lighthouse, Daphne sent Scooby and Shaggy up to the top while she and Flim Flam searched below. The two cowards begged to check the basement instead, but there was a ghoul to catch, and up the tall tower they nervously climbed.
But we still haven't found one who can fill Scooby. Yes! Who's next?
At the door, they met two rambling caretakers who could not agree whether the place was built in '02 or '03, tangling themselves in the same kind of endless confusion the demons loved. Still, they invited the pair inside to look around. At the very top, the caretakers cheerfully told Scooby and Shaggy to search all they wanted, then slammed the door and locked it, calling them suckers. The friends realized too late they had been duped, trapped high above the crashing waves. As they struggled, the whole tower began to topple, and Shaggy finally understood why they called it Lookout Point. The two clung on, crying for help, until Daphne heard them and made a daring choice to save her friends from the deadly fall. Daphne drove the van straight off the cliff, trusting the rubber ducky raft to catch them all. They jumped, shouting, plunging toward the sea, and splashed down safely. They had not found the chest, but they had nearly found Davy Jones' locker. Back at the studio, the gang wondered how the ghosts had known exactly where they would be. Tallulah greeted them warmly, then revealed her own shocking discovery. Right after they left, she found her room was bugged, wired for sound in the drapes. She showed them the hidden listening device, furious at the nerve of it, saying it could have been Toodaloo for her. Now angry, she called for another seance. As the spirits stirred, Vincent's voice broke through, warning of grave danger. Vincent revealed a terrible theft. His most important book, the Grand Tome of the Chest of Demons, was gone. Whoever took it would know every secret of the chest, confirming his darkest fears about the villain behind all these clever schemes.
Okay, guys, it's time for
Let's go!
Time blue.
Worse still, whoever opened the chest on the night of the winter solstice would gain all the power in the universe, and the solstice was tonight. Vincent urged them to find the chest before it was too late, then his warning faded away. Daphne begged Tallulah to bring Vincent back, but instead the medium caught a new vision. She saw the ghoulish lawn cemetery, and within it, the chest of demons. The gang knew where to go, though the thought of a graveyard filled them with dread. Scooby and Shaggy flatly refused, protesting that they had already braved the creepy show and the lighthouse, and cemeteries were absolutely out. But once again, Tallulah produced Scooby snacks, and their courage returned with a single yummy bribe. In the shadows, the lion demon vowed this was his last chance. He had to find the chest by midnight to claim all the power in the universe. He ordered Weird and Bojal to keep the kids trapped, with a bunch of zombies bribed by show tickets. At the cemetery, the gang split up, and Scrappy proudly imagined his uncle becoming a hero. Inside a crypt, Scooby and Shaggy found only dusty old urns, joking about a Grecian urn, until a real zombie lurched from the dark and sent them screaming. Daphne insisted there was no such thing as a zombie, but Shaggy could only stammer in fright. Then the creatures herded the trapped guests along like a spooky tour, guiding them past Dracula's castle and off toward the next ghoulish stop. The zombie guides handed out maps and hurried their nervous crowd onto a bus bound for the Wax Museum, waving cheerful goodbyes. In the confusion, one zombie dropped something, and the sharp-eyed gang scooped up tickets to Boris' television show. The tickets pointed straight back to the studio, so Daphne led the gang there to question Boris. He was gone, but they found damning clues: the floor plan of the temple where the chest was found, Vincent's stolen book, and a ticket to Tibet. The pieces fit together. Boris had flown to Tibet and stolen Vincent's book, and likely the chest as well. Then Vincent found the biggest clue of all, printed plainly in the television listings, where Boris planned to open the chest on air tonight. It was already 8 o'clock, so they raced to stop him. Flim Flam grabbed the Vakaspook while Boris addressed his viewers, promising something so amazing even he did not believe it. He was about to open the chest of demons on national television. Vincent burst in, warning that opening the chest would loose hideous demons and reduce the whole planet to smoldering ash. Boris shrugged it off as show business, admitting he only wanted revenge for being humiliated back at Terror Tech.
Shaggy, it's me! What a dog! I mean a total... Rumor has it that...
As Boris reached for the chest, boasting the power would be his, a sudden voice corrected him. Tallulah stepped forward, declaring she had come to claim the prize. The kindly medium had been the true villain hiding among them the entire time. Tallulah revealed she had used them all, letting them lead her to the chest she always sought. She was the one who sent the ghosts to the lighthouse and the graveyard. Then she cast off her disguise, transforming into Simbulu, the lion demon. Scooby quipped she was a lying demon, all right, as the beast roared for his prize. All seemed lost when Simbulu lunged for the power. But Weird and Bojel, terrified, chose that moment to pull a switch and flee, abandoning their fearsome master. In the chaos, Flim Flam sprang into action and trapped the lion demon just in time, saving the day. Vincent praised the boy warmly as the ghouls were locked away. He hoped for all eternity, ending the long solstice night chase at last. Scrappy then solved the smaller mystery, discovering a button that turned the whole stage around. A matching set stood backstage, and that spinning trick was how the chest had vanished during the blackout, exactly as Boris finally confessed. Boris admitted he had pushed the button in the dark, which explained how the chest disappeared and how the Scooby snacks moved onstage. Ashamed, he asked how he could ever repay his old friend Vincent, wondering aloud why he was asking a dog. At least the whole adventure had been captured on camera, so the gang replayed the tape. But every frame showed only Scrappy and Scooby waving to their families, blocking the shot. The two had accidentally become the stars of the entire show. And so, the closing rhyme declared, our heroes had once again foiled the schemes of ghosts and men, led by one so brave and true, none other than Scooby-Doo, closing the season's long hunt with one last warm and happy cheer.